how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Everything's slowly opening up. Will the rain ever stop? We just don't know. I have heard a rumour of some sun at some point, perhaps in July, but let's hope we get some in June, please. On this week's episode, I have Paul Handley, who's come to talk to me about his bar on Upper Briggate that he runs with his business partner, Dave Holmes. It's called Grindhouse, which is a genre of film I've never heard of, so it's great to hear him talk about that and to hear him talk about Frito pie, which I'm definitely going to try some of. Have a listen and see what you think. On this episode, Coronavirus Extraordinary episode, I've got Paul Handley come to speak to me. Hello, Paul.
How do? You all right?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Paul, you've come along to speak to me today about a bar that you're opening or have opened.
Yeah, we opened it on the 12th of April. So as soon as the
Wow.
restrictions went down, we were ready to go. But we've been ready to go for about 18 months. So
I bet it's been really frustrating.
It's been frustrating, but it's you got to look on the positive side of things. It's been really good at the same time to see Leeds get back on its feet and people seeing people again. People were like strapped in their houses or whatnot for the best part of a year. So to see people out on the street having a good time, that's one side of it. And obviously on the business side, it's good to start getting people through the door and money in the till.
I bet, yeah. And so the bar that you've opened is called Grindhouse. It's on Upper Briggate. Can you tell me a little bit about the concept behind the bar?
Yeah, so when we got me and my business partner, Dave Holmes, we came together about maybe 18 months ago. We were having a chat over some beers and, we both had the same idea of opening a movie-themed bar. Now, when that got into motion, one of the hardest things that I'm sure a lot of people find when they're opening a bar is the name that you're going to call it, because it's going to stick with you for the rest of the lifespan of the bar. So we chose Grindhouse. The movie link is basically, there's a lot of alleyways you can go off with Grindhouse. One of them is, it's very lewd and explicit films from back in the day. Grindhouse theatres were also basically, if you couldn't afford to go see the blockbusters like in the 30s and the 40s or whatever. Well, not so much in the 30s or 40s, I guess, because there was a war going on. But in the 50s and that, you'd go to a Grindhouse theatre because they were showing, let's say the B movies, the cheaper movies that you could afford at the time. And then also, it's a theme of film, which is a cheap budget movie, but the entertainment value's off the scale. And then we realised there was a Tarantino production a few years back now, where he did two films, Death Proof and Planet Terror, and called it Grindhouse. And we just thought it fit the name Grindhouse Coffee, because we're big on the coffee as well, using North Star coffee from Leeds. We just thought the Grindhouse, you grind your coffee beans, fit just perfectly.
And so you have like movie posters, and are you running films as well?
So yeah, all the walls we've got as many film posters as we could fit, really. We're going to add to it as we go down the line. And then we've got a big screen at the back where we're constantly showing movies, not so much with the sound, so we'll be playing like film soundtracks through the speaker system, and then the visuals of different films throughout the years on the back of the wall. We will be, as soon as we get our feet on the floor and, get going, we will be hosting movie nights as well. So, we'll come up with some kind of package for food and drink. You can come in and we'll be showing some classic film from whatever genre, and hopefully do that regular as we can be. And we want to get involved with the film festival and stuff like that. It's just you probably agree, a lot of people do with, conversation pieces is great with music. It works hand in hand with films as well.
Yeah, of course. And has it been a lot of fun sort of gathering all of the materials and finding out more about Grindhouse?
It's been awesome. Yeah, the research we've done. I was reading something the other day. It's called the Sleazoid Express. And it's basically a history of all the Grindhouse theatres from Times Square in New York from back in the day. Our cocktail menu was done by a good friend of mine, Lee Jones. He works for another Leeds-based company called Rolling Social Events, and
Oh
they
yeah.
put on, you know, obviously over the lockdown, they were putting on Zoom booze tastings, whether it be rum, gin, whiskey. Lee's just recently joined them, and he was kind enough to do our cocktail menu for us. And one of the cocktails is called a Sleazoid Espresso Martini, which was based on the Sleazoid Express. So yeah, it's been really fun.
Fantastic. And so, when did you actually start the project? Did you start it before the whole Corona craziness hit?
So yeah, so the idea came about, or we went in for the property summer 2019,
Wow.
and then there was obviously a lot of legal paperwork you were waiting for and planning permission, and the landlord needed to accept this and that. When we finally got the keys, it was Valentine's Day, February 2020, and we thought this is great. We've got like 6 weeks, and we'll be open hopefully by May. That was our plan, May 2020.
Hmm.
And then obviously the world turned upside down and dreams were shattered.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
And so, did you? I mean, how difficult was that for you? Did you have everything all ready to go, sort of staff and everything?
Luckily the staff side of it, we didn't have anyone, so we didn't have to furlough anyone. There was just me and Dave, and unfortunately, as much as the government were giving out, what they could, directors of businesses weren't really giving anything for their personal pockets. So
No.
yeah, it was basically a year of it was good in the sense that we got time to concentrate on the build of the place and make sure everything was right. It's we've gutted the building back to its bare bones. I mean, if you ever come in or whoever comes in, you'll see like the tiles on the walls. We discovered that we didn't really know were there, but they're from like
Oh wow.
they're from like the 1930s. So we cleaned them up, and we've kept them on view and kept it kind of the basis for the color scheme as well. Really, so it's nice to know we've got something from back in the day that kind of carries on. The grindhouse interior theme really, and
Yeah. What a piece of luck.
it's not sorry.
What a piece of luck that you found those that's your theme from
Oh,
that
it was
time.
great. It was, it saved us a lot of, let's say, wallpapering or tiling ourselves because we had to do a bit of grouting, and it was one of the worst things I've ever done. Never want to do it again. So please, let's keep this upkeep of the bar going.
And how have things been for you since things have slowly been opening up?
It's been great. I mean, it's not really sunk in yet, to be brutally honest. Since April 12th, obviously everyone were allowed to drink outside. So we had a little bit on the street. We've got like a temporary pavement license in between North Bar, Wax and Cellar, and it's been awesome. Them guys have been great helping us out with like different things. The staff have been great. Um, but yeah, but as soon as we opened, I mean, you probably know, like the centre of Leeds was just manic, and it was great to
Yeah.
see everyone out. Everyone, like again, having a good time and seeing people again. And it was the first 2 weeks were absolutely fantastic. And then obviously for whatever reason in the last 3 weeks, the rain has decided not to stop.
I know. It's just the worst timing, isn't it? Just when everybody wants to be out and doing things.
Yeah, but you can't help the weather. And again, you got to keep positive and like it's not really sunk in. And I'm so proud of what we've done. I'm showing it to people. Like obviously, when people were still outside, you could still come in and go to the toilet, and people were looking around, going, "Oh wow," just little
Oh,
things like that get a tick in your box and a tick in your heart, and you're like, you're doing the right thing.
and just great to get feedback, I imagine, when you've spent such a long time working on it
Oh,
and
it's
being able to share.
fantastic. Like whether it's someone going, "Cheers, mate, we'll be back," or someone literally sitting down with you and discussing, I don't know, a certain film from a poster you've got up. It makes the world of difference.
And can you tell me a bit about the food that you serve at Grindhouse? Because that's quite unique as well.
Yeah, well, the food as it is now, so we've got a full breakfast brunch menu going. So we've got your fried breakfast that cater for veggies and vegans and meat eaters, all catered to. And then we've got your classics like your salmon cream cheese bagel on there. We've got Huevos Ranchos, which is like Mexican eggs dish, which I loved from when I went to Mexico, so I wanted to put that on there. And then as the breakfast brunch kind of falters out, we've got a few sarnies on there, like a fried chicken sandwich with bacon and sriracha mayo, just really hearty stuff that'll fill you up in the afternoon. And then as the sun goes down, it was basically I remember being on holiday years ago in Texas, and they had it's called a Frito pie, and it's basically a packet of crisps with a dollop of chili in it, some cheese, and some hot sauce and some jalapenos on it, and it's it's just like you can't go wrong with it. All the chili melts the cheese. You've got a bit of crisps at the bottom for the crunch, and I just thought we need that on the menu because nowhere else that I know of is doing it in England.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but it sounds amazing.
Yeah. So, and the only thing was because we couldn't get all the Fritos, which is like an American, it's like a cross between beef hula hoops and quavers. So I was like, right, it was a bit of fun research, I do have to say. How many crisps are going to work with this? So I went through about 9 or 10 multi-packs in a week, figuring it out. But hula hoops was the one we fell on, just because it's a classic British crisp. I've known it since I was a kid. And
I've got to say, hula hoops are definitely one of my favourites. I've got a lot of favourites.
And it just works well, like you dip your fork in and you can catch them on the fork as well with the chili. So that was an afterthought. When people say, "Oh, it's good that, isn't it? With a fork and it catches the hula hoop." And you've really thought about that, haven't you? And I was like, not actually thought about that side of it, no, but thanks.
Oh, I'm glad that everything's all working out for you then, and so you're slowly seeing everything building up and people coming in and enjoying all your hard work.
Oh, it's been great, yeah. And like I say, you're allowed inside now, so people get a better taste of what we're about. Can actually see the movies on the screens, and yeah, it's getting back to normal, as you know. And hopefully, when summer arrives, the weather will be good. We'll have 3 weeks of summer, is that English summer, and then before we know it, it'll be Christmas.
Yeah, I've heard a rumour of a 3-week summer. Let's hope we do get that.
I know. I'll be happy with that, I'll be honest. I'm sick of the rain.
Absolutely. And you've got lots of connections to local suppliers. You mentioned the coffee earlier.
Yeah. We're using North Star coffee roasters. They wanted to come in with us and help us out, which has been great. Then we've got all our produce for the kitchen. So all our veg and stuff, we use Neil's in the market. They've been there for years. And then we've got our meat side of it. Sykes Farm, they're based up in Wetherby. They've been great with us. Who have we got? I'm trying to think here. You stumped me now. Northern Monk Beer Company. We've got cans of theirs in. Like local, not so much breweries at wholesale. Like James Clay help us out with our beer. And then apart from, I'm going to say our staff wise, there's only 2 of us from Leeds. They're all pretty much from the northeast. So that's not really. Well, they're good workers.
That's the main thing.
I'll big them up. It's all right.
And so it sounds to me, Paul, like you've lived in Leeds all your life from your accent.
Yeah. History lesson now. I was born in Leeds, 1985. So my mum and my dad have been separated since I was born. So I've always lived kind of in 2 different spots. So my mum grew up in Beeston, and then with my dad's side, he kind of moved around Leeds. So anywhere from Meanwood, Addle, Cookridge, Sherburn. I've moved, like my dad's side, I always moved around a bit, but I'd say predominantly, I guess I grew up in Beeston, most of it.
Which, of course, Beeston is officially the best part of Leeds because that's where I record this podcast from, and that's where I've lived for 60
years.
Is it? So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Just off Tempest Road.
Oh, okay. I was Dalton Avenue, just off near Crossflats Park.
You were on the posh side.
Dalton Avenue.
Yeah, I think it's a great place. It's got, quite often you tell people that you live in Beeston and you can get a sharp intake of breath, like, oh, might be a bit dodgy.
I keep telling people there's worse places.
Oh, God, yeah. And I think as well, it's just, when you've lived here for a while, it becomes your own dodgy place, you know what I mean? And you know all the dodgy people, and so then it's fine.
No, nowhere's perfect, is it?
Absolutely. So you're definitely qualified then, Paul, to answer the 3 questions that I ask every guest.
Okay.
The first one being...
ready.
Yeah, get yourself ready. The first one being, what would you say is great about the city of Leeds?
great about the city of Leeds is, which I think has been something that's been going on for years now, but it just keeps on getting better, is the nightlife. And I'm being biased because I've worked in it for nearly 15 years, but the amount of independent bars and restaurants and cafes that are in Leeds now, it's just ace to see. And don't get me wrong, you're never going to get rid of Greg's. Greg's is awesome. I love Greg's. But when you've got your independent people coming up and you see it doing well, and we're all in it together. You know what I mean? Like bars that you don't even have to be next door to each other. Like I can go down Core Lane and you know, don't get me wrong, there's perks of it. Sometimes we'll get thrown a free shot or a free drink, but it's more the camaraderie of it and, just a general, how you doing? Yeah, good. How's your business been? Yes, well, we're going to come up soon. And it works hand in hand how the hospitality industry in Leeds is just like, it's just a big melting pot of awesomeness.
That's brilliant. I think it's great to hear that, it's not so much that you're all competing with each other, but you're all in it together.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think as well, like for quite a while, Leeds didn't seem to have so much or wasn't putting as much energy into sort of independent businesses. And I do feel like it's definitely, it's just got bigger and bigger every year. And why would you want to go to any city in the country and everything be exactly the same bars, same restaurants,
Oh, no.
all the big chains? I mean, they've got their place and everything. But yeah, I think it's fantastic that there's more and more independent places to eat and drink in Leeds.
It's ace. I absolutely love it, and probably it's the main reason why I've never left. I've been here 36 years now, and I'm not looking for anywhere else anytime soon. So yeah,
A good endorsement.
yeah.
And if you had to choose something about Leeds that you didn't think was so great, what would you go
Uh-huh.
for?
So growing up, I was big into my punk music, and I still am. Like I love all genres of music. As you get older, you kind of open your mind a bit, but I still have that aching inkling for like good punk bands, and it seems like there isn't a punk scene anymore in Leeds, and or let's say going back to independent bars and restaurants, which is great. But the venue side of it seems to be dropping off, or let's say the government slash the council are really putting it in. There's a few places. I mean, don't get me wrong, Temple of Boom, Santiago Bar, you've got Cellar Bar. I think a Porto do it, but when I remember going, every pub kind of had a gig listing for like every day of the week, and then there was like just so many. I mean, Brudenell, you could say as well, is pretty much a mainstay of Leeds, but there's very little places like that, and I'd like to see more of that grow.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I am being biased with the punk genre, but maybe that's just kids these days. I don't know.
And if somebody had lived in Leeds for a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able to tell them about something that you think is a hidden gem that they might never have heard of?
Hidden gem. Right. So on this, I thought there's a couple of options where it was like, what you're on about walks or places to
Anything you
visit.
like, absolutely anything.
So when I grew up, my grandma and grandma live or are from in Adel. It's like a really nice part of Leeds, and just at the far in between Adel and Old Woodley, there's a place called Adel Woods, and I used to love going there as a kid. Still do. Like take my dogs down there every opportunities we get, and it's a nice walk. Walk through the woods. There's like a thing called Adel Crag, which is like a massive, it's a crag. It's just a big stone in the middle of the woods, and it's just a stalwart or installed in my childhood mind anyway. Just go away, forget about whatever's going on, and you can just drift off for half an hour to an hour, and whether you're with someone or you're on your own, and it's just always a calming place for me. What I remember going to.
Oh, that's a great one. I don't think anybody's ever mentioned Adelwoods. That's a good one. Thank you.
No worries.
And I always ask us if they have a Leeds-based band or musician that they would like to feature a song from. And you have chosen Close as the Ceiling by LD Moses. Can you tell me why you chose that track?
So yeah, LD Motors are a band, a couple lads from Leeds, or they came to Leeds for university, and they've stuck it out here. Obviously, that's another sign of how good Leeds is. One of the lads is a mate of mine. He works at Wax Bar, which is just next door to us. That's another hidden gem, by the way, Wax Bar. And yeah, I was literally. He's got a band, and I think they're great. And what better way to also promote him, but promote why people have stayed in Leeds like him. And
Yeah,
yeah, the closed ceiling it's a cracking tune.
it really is. I really enjoyed listening to it. I'm sure everybody else will.
Awesome.
What will you be doing with the rest of your Friday today then?
So my next of the day consists of our beer delivery is currently being delivered as we speak. There's a couple of kegs being delivered. Then I'll probably be out of here by 5-6 o'clock, and then me and my lovely girlfriend and her brother and new wife are going out for some food, and we're going to have a few drinks and see what Leeds has to offer.
Sounds like a good Friday to me, Paul.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait.
Well, thank you so very much for coming along to speak to me. I will make sure that there's all of the information people need in the podcast notes so that they can check out Grindhouse, check out LD Moses' music.
Awesome! Thank you very much, Hazel. Loved it.
Thank you, and I'm definitely going to be coming in, and I'll come in soon. I really want to try out that free soul pie.
Oh, do it, and the plethora of brews as well.
Of course, yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
You too, darling. Bye now.
Fabulous to chat to Paul about Grindhouse. I know a little bit more about that genre now. I'm very much looking forward to having a visit. Check out the podcast notes. I'll put lots of information in there so that you can click through, perhaps go book yourself a table, try some of that frito pie. Paul chose the tune Close as the Ceiling by LD Moses, and it is a proper cracking tune. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Have a nice long bank holiday weekend, everyone. Bye.